We're in Salina, Kansas. Jeff and I, we're here on a trip for Thanksgiving. We're sitting around waiting to hear what time we're leaving, and the weather's real scuzzy outside. I tried to do this once before and really messed it up. But now I finally figured out how to get this landscape on this thing. That looks much better, much better. Otto, good to see you again, man. It's been a really short time, but guess you guys are having Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are having a good Thanksgiving. Hopefully I haven't insulted everybody here in the FBO doing a live broadcast in their lobby here. That's probably a, oh, thanks, I appreciate that. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, now oh, Charlotte. That's right. You know, eating dinner, Thanksgiving dinner in the crash pad, man. That's a memory right there that you'll hopefully forget soon. What do we got? We've got Jo. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to you also. Oh, from the Netherlands. Oh, it's not. Is it night yet? I think it's nighttime there, isn't it? Yeah. Jim, happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm going to kind of walk around a little bit. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. The weather's really scuzzy here. We came in, we were picking up ice and all sorts of stuff, freezing rain, freezing drizzle, and you can look out the window. Temperatures just slightly above freezing right now. We've been getting rain off and on. We ended up putting the airplane in the hangar, and hopefully when they get here, we can just pull it out and there won't be any precip, and off we go without having to deal with ice or de-icing. Marco, happy Thanksgiving to you. Hope you guys are with friends or family today, eating a really big Thanksgiving meal. We had ours at High Hop today. Special, very special meal. Jeff and I. Let's see. Oh, from New Orleans. Hey, I love New Orleans. I love New Orleans chips because I love eating. I hate to say it, it's one of my weaknesses, and I love Creole food. They got fantastic food in New Orleans. Oh, you guys almost having your turkey. Oh, that's great. Yeah. There's something going on?
They're talking about when to pull the aircraft out.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're
just going to see what the weather's playing out.
Oh, okay. Jeff's going out there to check out the weather, make an actual observation of the weather here. Because as a pilot, believe it or not, you're a qualified weather observer. And an immediate observation by yourself is probably better than something coming from a station or recorded, ASOS or something like that. But I apologize, folks, that I'm not answering directly some of these comments you're leaving because they're actually disappearing, which doesn't give me a whole lot of time to look at them. See, they're popping back up. Oh yeah, it's night over there and cold. Yeah, it's 33 degrees here. And see, I hate the way that oh, there, I can bring it back up. Anthony, I'm probably not going to get typed in the Challenger because they are still working really hard to put it on a long-term lease. We talked about it, the owner and I, a couple of weeks ago, and we both agree that if it were to stay, which it probably won't, or it were to stay and start doing charter, then yes. But the airplane has to be able to pay for itself. And okay, hold on just a minute. Yes, sir. I flew from Mr. Rizzori. We flew from St. Louis Spirit Airport over to Salina, Kansas. That's where we're at right now. And they're going to give us a 30-minute warning. They're inbound back to the airport, and then we're flying back to Spirit sometime today. The place they actually went to today was 30 minutes north of here, a little town. They don't actually come to Salina. It just happens to be the closest airport that they're at. And it's a big deal for them. They're having a big family Thanksgiving, and normally I go to the Thanksgiving with them when I'm here. But this one was kind of different. It combined with another huge occasion, which is a baby reveal for one of the people that is there. A big deal. So they're going to have a lot of fun and excitement. Big family event. Yeah. So anybody here get typed recently or get an instrument rating? Solo? Anything like that? Those days flying on the holiday. Yes, you do, Rich. You've been waiting for Big D. What? Oh, Big D, are you still waiting for me at Ocean Reef? Oh man, I feel so bad about that. We flew into Ocean Reef, I think it was 10 days ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and we got in late. We ended up being delayed. As soon as we got there, we left. I mean, we weren't there 5 minutes. We buttoned up that airplane and had to leave, and we were not back in Ocean Reef till like just right before we had to leave again. Oh, CeeLo. Yeah, I bet you. Is that the CeeLo? Man, I feel bad. I haven't been back to Nashville, and Nashville's another great place. Oh, that's great. Getting into the professional pilot program. Fantastic. You're on your way now. Oh, yes, sir. CeeLo, man, I see your stuff on Facebook, but I got to get back to Nashville. What I ought to do is, I guess Scott goes out there still doing his thing. Maybe that's what I do. And I just caught Silver One. No, not a PIC on the Challenger. I'm just keeping that right seat warm. Doing the radios, jerking the gear. That's my job. Greet the people, close the door, brief them, all that stuff. Oh yeah, you do see. Say hello to Hobbs next time you see him. So the guy I'm flying with, Jeff. Yeah, he's right over here. Say hello, Jeff.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Yeah, I can fly the airplane, but I can't work the GoPros. So
yeah, I'm probably one of the strangest people he has ever flown with the whole YouTube thing, Instagram, Facebook, videos, and all that stuff. Oh, this is from the UK, Stoke-on-Trent. Where's Stoke-on-Trent?
It's in the Midlands.
It's in the middle of Staffordshire? Okay, yeah. Yeah, some of you guys know it. Jeff is originally British, and I guess that's what you would call yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
British? Yeah. Even though it's UK now. I didn't even become like a UKer or something, did you? You
No,
stay British.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like that. That's good. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. There we go. Yeah, see, this is, I guess on YouTube, this is kind of a slow day like it is here. We couldn't find any place to get anything for lunch. Everything was closed. We're going up and down through the town. We finally found an IHOP that was open and went in there, and I had my Thanksgiving BLT and fries, which was good. And I think you had the chicken fried steak for Thanksgiving.
I did. Yeah, real glamorous stuff.
Yes, it is. Yes, makes for an exciting Thanksgiving lunch. we were there for all the other lost souls there in IHOP on Thanksgiving Day. The good thing though is, with this job, I've never had to work Christmas Day, so that is a wonderful thing. Hey, Flan MC, good to see you. Axethic, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to flight lessons of 172 XP. I've never flown a 172 XP. I've flown a 172. Great airplane. The Spurs' new coach. I wish I could tell you because I'm not a big sports fan. When you see me do this, I'm trying to bring the comments back up because they fade out real fast. And I can't always, if I'm too late at it, I can't bring them back up. I got to touch it and do that. So what'd you guys think of my last video I put up? I put one up about 3 or 4 days ago, and I decided to change things up a bit because, I'm real busy at work right now. I make these longer videos. Some of them are 22, 24 minutes. This one was going to be a longer video, so I split it right down the center. And the second half of that video now is actually uploaded to YouTube. I've got it all set up to go live Monday, this upcoming Monday. What is Monday? Is that the 1st or the 2nd?
It's the second.
The 2nd.
So Sunday's the first.
Okay, Sunday. Oh, Sunday's first. Okay, so December 2nd, Monday morning at 7 a.m. Central Time, that video comes up. That gives me a chance to work on videos in between that I can put it up there. I kind of liked doing the longer videos. I don't know why, I just did. But I think that was kind of a mistake because it left the gaps too long putting up different videos there. Okay, so let's see. Thanks, Tim, I appreciate that. I'm in Salina, Kansas right now, watching the wet, cold weather out there. I like the first one, look forward to the second. Thank you, I appreciate that, John. You're welcome. Well, you are absolutely welcome. I definitely appreciate that. I try to entertain and also, tell you something about, what it's really like teach about aviation and the aircraft also. Happy Turkey, Chris. Thanks, I appreciate that. Good to hear from you, Chris. Yeah, well, I'm at Aflight. I mean, hey, there's, yeah, everybody wave. Oh, they probably think I'm a jackass, but that's okay. They probably think I'm kidding when I say, hey, you know, you're on YouTube, but oh well. So, oh, I lost my train of thought there. What I was going to say. Oh, South Africa, man, Cape Town. Gosh, I don't know if you can get any further from here than Cape Town. That is a heck of a long way away. Yeah, I'd love to go there. I mean, that would be such a cool place to go to. But boy, it's a long way off. Neil, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Will, thanks. I appreciate that. Happy Turkey Day to you. And oh, Mike from Switzerland. Man, that's another place, long way away from here. Scotland. If you know, I guess everybody's finishing up their Thanksgiving turkey meal, except for the other countries, because I guess some of these other countries have traditions or holidays that would be comparable to Thanksgiving in the U.S. Maybe, you know, it started in some other different way, but it's basically a celebration of the blessings that you've received and giving thanks for them is what it is. Well, Keisha Pilot, did you hear the president went to Afghanistan to visit the troops? I did not. Was that just something in the news? Huh. No, I did not hear that. Norfolk, England. Okay, Nick, good to see you. There's, I saw somebody from New York. I missed the name. Mexico, David, man. Okay, it is warmer in Mexico. You know, I have to give you that. On days like this, I look out that window and think, oh, it'd be so nice. Go to Mexico, someplace warmer. Hawaii, Kona, Hawaii. Well, you know, good for him for surprising the troops, man. I think that's fantastic. That's a tough job, and you know, people in tough jobs like that need to get credited for what they're doing. You know, they need to see the appreciation. An hour ago, I'll have to check that out. Edinburgh, Scotland. Oh man, gosh. So, you know, I don't have a microphone. This is just my phone that I'm using to do this. Hopefully, the sound is good. I mean, I'm kind of talking louder because the mic is further away from my phone, from my mouth on the phone. Yeah. So, but back to making the video. That last video I made, that was Lawrenceville. And it was going into Lawrenceville and that afternoon and then going into the next day. The second half that starts Monday will actually be the last day where we leave, and quite a bit of flying in that one. I think the flying sequence is about 9 minutes with the ATC, but I really liked that one because when we leave, it's a constant, steady, moderate to heavy rain. Just rained all afternoon. And they kept us down low for a while because we were in that Atlanta airspace in the TCA there and had to work our way around it. And we had weather we were going through, and at one point we were going through turbulence, and you can see that, boom, 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 like that. Mike exclaimed, making a comment about, you know, hitting the rocks and stuff like that. But I thought it was kind of interesting. And right before we take off, you know, ATC asked us how we got such a short end number, and I answered that. And basically, I'll tell this story again. The primary guy I worked for used to own a helicopter company, and he had, I think, 90-something helicopters that were leased to TV stations, and he would provide us a package with the maintenance, the helicopter, the crew, the camera equipment, all that, and then when they would fly news and traffic missions for the helicopter, I think the station would send a photographer along also. So we had all these helicopters. When he bought one and he got it with a short end number and then sold it, he reserved that end number and kept it. Because he was always buying and selling, trading aircraft, fixed wing also. And he just was able through the years to accumulate a a lot of short end numbers. Those end numbers, in a sense, are very valuable because if you have a company and your company is CTR trading or something like that, and you want your end number to be 14 CTR and somebody's got it, you can pay that person for that end number and get it transferred. So he kept the short ones, and every now and then somebody wants a really short one. And that's how, you end up with those little short end numbers. But like I said, that's an expensive way to do it, buying and selling aircraft. Some of this. So I think I'm going to get myself a GoPro 8. I've been looking at that. That might help me with some of the problems I have with the GoPros. And I don't think it's just intrinsic to the GoPros. I think it's the situation that you're using them in with the cockpit, because it's looking out forward, and it's a lot of times it's much brighter outside through the cockpit, and that makes the cockpit with all the instrumentation very dark, and the camera has a very difficult time with that. So I was just watching a video here recently where somebody got some really good cockpit flight footage of theirs. I'm going to give that a try. See, I just had a bunch of comments come by, and they're gone. What can I say? So hopefully it warms up here. Just a degree or two would be nice before they pull the airplane out of the hangar. It's right at 33, and as you know, that temperature range right there, close to freezing, is one of the worst ones to be flying in as far as icing. You got to be real careful about that. And the Challenger is not a great airplane for flying in ice. You got to make sure the wing is clean, all the surfaces are clean. Actually, all airplanes for takeoff, and you've got to make sure that you've got a clean surface on them. But some planes do better than others. Okay. Oh, I brought it back up. Okay. He did hit the watch. Oh, you live there in Lawrenceville. Okay, Otto. Yeah, it was a nice airport. We actually went in there. You'll notice on the next video as we're leaving, they had a skeleton in the lobby looking at its iPhone, and that was because it was just right before Thanksgiving that we did that trip. Now we went back, I think a week later. We were going to go into Lawrenceville, but we went into PDK, and I made some video of that. I'm going to make a video and did something I'd never done before. We were at a Marriott over there in, we went into PDK, and it was, I can't think of the name of the area. It was a lot of hotels, and there was a mall and stuff like that. But right outside the hotel was one of those Bird electric scooters. And I was sitting out there. I was going out and going to get some exercise. I decided not to do it in the little hotel gym, and I said, I'm going to give this a try. I always wanted to try it. So I loaded the app up on my phone, put some money on it, and activated the bike. Or I wasn't a bike, I had a little scooter, and jumped on it. Off I went. Made some video of that. Fortunately, I didn't kill myself. I did okay. Took a little getting used to. The only time, and I probably over 2 days took it out for an hour riding this thing around. But the only time I almost got in a wreck, a crash, hurt myself, was I was going back to the hotel, and I just didn't stop fast enough. I was going straight towards the walls because I was going to park it off to the side. But I just wasn't good at judging the speed there, and I kind of jumped off. And, no big deal, except for it was in the right in front of the hotel restaurant there with all these people in there watching me. Atlanta banned the scooters? Oh, I saw somebody from Norway there. Sorry, I just missed you. Howdy from Norway. Dino, I think, said, Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, you got to be careful of those scooters. I don't know why I did it. I'm kind of glad I did. I'll have that little footage of that in the video. I put it on the to attach the GoPro to the handlebar, and I'm sure that is a violation of all the stuff you agree to when you set up the account. Oh, here's somebody from St. Louis. Let's see who that was. Yeah, that's my area of the world there in St. Louis. So, but I guess also, Mike and I do a lot of stuff, like go out west and rent bicycles and ride on the boardwalk and go hiking and stuff like that. So I thought, well, that kind of falls. Like, wait, who is this selling people getting DUIs on scooters? Oh man, in Indianapolis. Okay, I'll have to watch Indianapolis. I'll be very careful in Indianapolis. I thought, one thing you ever fly Peachtree City? Haven't ever been in there. Holland, Edwin, hey, good to see you. But see, this is what happens when you get to my age. You just totally get sidetracked and you never can come back to it. It's just gone forever. Because I think I was really to come out with something really profound that would have affected everybody, but it's gone. Just not coming back. Sorry about that. So we'll move on. Yep, it's still scuzzy out there. So I guess most of you guys, if you're in North America right now, are dealing with weather like this in one way or another. Hey, Randy, good to see you. Yeah. Oh, Vegas. We were in Vegas yesterday. Oh, no, I'll tell you guys about this because this was yesterday. And Jeff had the same problem. Where were you? Where'd you fly to yesterday?
I went to Eagle, Colorado.
Eagle, Colorado.
Yeah, it was,
terrible. The winds were ferocious. We went to Vegas and we were full, 9 passengers, 11 people on board. We stopped in Pueblo. And then we went to Vegas. We stopped at Pueblo for fuel. At one point, we had a 185 knot wind right on the nose. 2.5 hours to Pueblo and then 2 to Vegas. And for you going to Eagle,
it was 2.5 hours to Eagle, and 90 minutes back home again.
Yeah, it adds a lot of extra time doing that, and burns a lot of extra fuel. If we had just dropped off in Vegas and come back, I flight planned the nonstop return leg, it would have only have taken us 2.5 hours to come back nonstop from there. Huge difference in the time going and coming because of that wind. We eventually left 40,000 and went down to 30,000, lost about 50 knots of wind, and that did help. But then you were down in the scuzzy stuff and the turbulence and stuff. Turbulence was bad yesterday also. We barely made our flight out of Vegas to Denver, and had a short connection there then to St. Louis. In Denver, they had gotten, it looked like quite a bit of snow, and that had really disrupted their operations the day before. We were kind of seeing the aftermath of it when we went through there. But it all worked out, and then the next morning, we left in the Challenger, Jeff and I, and here we are. So I noticed we had some stuff pop up here. Let's see, here's auto perfect. Perfect weather in Charlotte, light winds, clear skies. Oh man, don't tell us that. Oh, I'm so jealous. Let's see, citation max. Oh, you were fighting 150 knot headwind, 4 hours from New York to Wichita. Brutal, even at 4. Oh, you were at 450. Oh man, and still getting that wind. We thought about going higher. We could have gone up to 43 or 45, but decided to go down. But it sounds like you guys still have it up there, just hitting you right on the nose. Who else have we got here? Oh, Chris, 70 degrees, warm, and you're smoking a turkey on the barbecue. Yeah. 84 in Tampa. Oh. I think I have. Hey, Sean, I'm pretty sure I've been to Rock Sound on Eleuthera. It has been a long time. I think I've been there twice. The last time I'm thinking about was in a King Air 350, and I was doing chartering it, taking people down there. Mooresville 65. Oh, Billy, thank you so much. I am just so flattered that you would do that. I always forget on the live stuff on your phone that you can do that. Since I've become a household name and the Rush Limbaugh of it, what? I would be interested to know how your family and Mike's have responded to your mega stardom, like women wanting selfies with you. Okay, now, actually, that's a tough one because my wife might be listening, and I would hate to have to tell her the truth. You know, they're throwing themselves at me, these women. It is like, oh, please, please, no, I understand. No, but in all honesty, this is Billy, this is the absolute truth. I'm not kidding. I kid too much. This is the absolute truth. My wife and my kids and everybody knew that I had did this and I've been doing it for years. And it really was totally separate from where I lived. And every now and then I'd be in an FBO and somebody would come up and say, hey, I really enjoy your videos. I want to thank you. And, we'd visit for a little while, and which made sense, aviation, this is kind of an aviation thing, and we're in an airport. That's a common thing that we have, that we would happen to meet somewhere, but then, and all of this happened probably within a month that this happened with my wife. The weather had really gotten bad last year, and instead of walking outside, because she has bad vertigo problems, and I was walking with her, I said, why don't we go to the mall? That'd probably be the easiest way to do this. And twice in the mall, people came up and said, hi, I just wanted to thank you for the videos, which was really a shock there in our hometown. And then coming out of Walmart one day, this couple's coming the other way, and as he walked by, he just kind of gave me just a little on the shoulder, just a friendly little push and a smile, and kept going. I turned around, I said, because I couldn't place the face, I said, do I know you? And he said, no, but I love your videos. And that then with my wife kind of is like, oh my gosh, these people are really out there watching this stuff. And she's good with it. Another thing that has changed is my wife and my kids were really a little uncomfortable with me using my phone and camera. And not so much that I was doing it, it's like, oh, somebody's taking my picture. I need to pose, or, whatever people do, that are uncomfortable with, getting family photos or something like that. And, but they really loosened up to it now, because like when something was going on, I'd pull it out, then I'll freeze. No, don't do that. And now my wife totally ignores it now. I pulled my phone out and got a little clip of Haley before I left. We were talking about something, and then out the door. And I may use that for a video, like today, if I end up making a video of this or not. And so that's all. They're all good with it now, and especially some of the stuff, because there are videos I make also that you guys don't see. That are family videos, and I'm working on one right now when we did Ragbri, which was middle of July, and it was like a vacation thing, big bicycle ride across Iowa, thousands of people, and we were driving a support trailer, and the kids were riding the bikes, and it was an incredible experience for us. It really was. So I'm making a video of that. And when they see stuff like that, I think they think, oh my gosh, yeah, this is something you can look at years later and remember these events. And that's a really good way to record it. So they're good with it, So what all I missed? Did I answer the question, Billy? No. Well, see, it's hard because I can't see what was coming. There's Kevin. Nicholas McBride. Oh, Billings, Montana. Man, you guys get some weather there. You're right about that. 45 in Tacoma, Washington. Oh, okay. All right. Logan says his buddy is a controller working now at Salina. Say hi to Derek when you head out. Derek, Logan, I will try to remember. Derek. Okay.
I'll remind you.
Okay, yeah, Jeff will remind me. Kevin, Jim, Max knows Greg, Premier One driver. Have you had the chance to meet him? No, I haven't. There are these other guys that do something similar to what I do. I think they meet up and do stuff. I have never run across any of these guys anywhere, but I think in some ways, I'm doing something a little bit different, and we're going in different directions and stuff like that. I'm surprised, as much as I go to Florida, I haven't run across Steve-O or somebody like that. And maybe one day I will, you know. Uh, let's move on here. Let's see. Freezing rain. Oh man, in Finland. Oh, thanks. Oh, good to see you. You got 2 kids east of me, Randy. Okay, cool. Okay, Rich. All right, Rich made a very good point. He says, it's funny, back when I flew corporate, I wasn't allowed to even have a camera anywhere inside. Okay. You know, I think if all of a sudden I had walked up, if it had just popped in my head, I said, I want to make these vlogs and record this stuff and be on YouTube, and walked up and said, hey, I want to do this, they probably would have said no. But that's not what happened. This all happened about 10 years ago. We were really busy flying 135 and the owner stuff, Part 91. I was a full-time pilot, then a chief pilot, and I had this really cheap Fujifilm camera. I think it was 260 by 320. Really bad video, bad sound, bad video. And every now and then I thought, oh, this would be cool. I'll just put this little camera up here on top of the instrument panel and catch the landing off the nose. Now, I thought that was cool, but in reality, it was really boring. It was the same thing time after time. 2 minutes of the nose of the airplane approaching the runway. And I would put this stuff up, and just a little 30-second clip of an instrument panel. And everybody knew I did this. And like I said, it was nothing much. It was just like a little something. But gradually, over the years, I got better and better at it. And I would always say, oh yeah, I did that landing. You ought to go on YouTube and see this landing I put up. It was really good. Nobody wanted to see it. You know, I'd say, oh yeah, you got to go see this. Yeah, whatever. You know, the chief pilot, yeah, I know you, I watched you do that, yeah. You know, they'd be talking to the boss and they'd joke, yeah, Jim did another landing. And, or something like this. Everybody, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, I don't blame them. I would have also. But the quality, it wasn't just the quality. I think the fact that they were telling a little bit of a story and it kind of expanded very slowly, organically grew. During that time, over 10 years, is then all of a sudden, somebody actually watched one. And it was like, oh my gosh, have you seen his videos? And then it was like, it went like from one day to everybody then had watched them. And so like I said, it wasn't just like walking in and saying, this is what I want to do. It was like this very, almost like a seed that just very organically grew into something. Like a weed in your driveway or a crack or something like that. But I think what helped also was the fact that I never will, say anything negative or detrimental about any of the people, or really have anything about anybody that doesn't want to be in anything, because they're really not the story. The story is what it's like flying as a business or corporate pilot, or even a charter pilot is what it's really about. And I think I've been very respectful to respect their privacy. I only have one, and out of all my videos, and I've put over 500 over the years, one person who was not a crew member that was actually family of one of the owners, and that's because that person actually told me, walked up and said, I really would like to be in your video. And you probably have no idea who that is through all of this. So just kind of how that worked out. You know, let's see who I've missed over here now. Oh, here's somebody else from the UK again, Air Action. Billy Ray, thank you. Citation Max, you should join us sometime. Would be great to meet up. You know, basically I'm a coward, Citation Max. You know, that's the truth, because my wife and my daughter and people know say, hey, you should have a meetup. You know, I couldn't even imagine if I had a meetup, what I would say to more than two people. You know, my fear is if I had a meetup, the first fear is nobody would show up. The second fear would be people would show up, 20 people. It's like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Type thing. So, but I ended up meeting people individually. I'm much better as I meet people individually on the road, kind of surprise type thing. Because really in real life, I probably do better than I do on the videos that I make. Because as I watch myself in these videos I edit, I realize I actually talk faster than I do when I put up the camera and walk around and do this. Yeah, here, this is so and so over here. So, what can I say? Oh, yeah, they have come a long way, Mr. Coldwater. And, I appreciate every one of you guys that have supported me. All of you, guys and ladies, young and old, because I really hope that I'm bringing every person that does spend time watching my videos value, that I'm bringing you something that is worthy of the time that you have spent watching it. And I apologize to the person that twice gave me the $20 because I have already forgotten what your name is. Sorry. But I do want to thank you because when I saw it the second time, I did not realize that that's what that was. I thought it was just showing me your question again. Oh, there's Black Wolf from Oman. Oh, you're an A330 pilot. Man, that's got to be a blast. That has got to be a blast. Mike's son flies for Delta. I think it's he flies an Airbus. Which Airbus does Delta have? Is it the A330? It's kind of interesting hearing, about it. Oh, Andrew, your kitchen door is open. It's raining outside in Johannesburg. Oh man, you gotta love it. Little heat wave. That's fantastic. Tim, good to hear from you. I'd love to come to Sun and Fun. It would be a blast, and I would love to go to. What's the Oshkosh? I've never been to any of them. The only time I've been to Sun and Fun was delivering an aircraft. In fact, it was a Falcon 20, and we had a brake failure on the runway. And it's been a long time ago. The other guy was flying, and he's just, nothing. Only thing I noticed is he pulls up and starts easing back the emergency brake. And I think, oh no. Yeah, sure enough. Just one of those things, Okay, Brazil, great. Citation Max. Okay, man, thanks. I really appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving. It's getting to the point where I can't name everybody here. Looking for some questions. Have I ever seen an object while flying you couldn't identify or explain? Once, this was 25 years ago, flying over Arkansas. Something came up from below us, straight up. I have no idea what it was. It really surprised us, and it just kept going. I have no idea. But I'll tell you what happened to us. I guess about a week ago, you may have seen it in the news, the meteorite that came down in Missouri. We felt the house shake and thought, what? My wife thought somebody had hit the house, and we heard the boom. And we did not realize till the next day that it had been a meteorite that had come down in the Wellsville area. Let's see. Arkansas, enough said. Oh yeah, you're right. That's where I started my career, flying out of Little Rock, man. And Tennessee for all my, starting my private pilot. Yes. How did I start flying? Oh man, that's a cool, hold on just a minute. I started flying as a passenger, as a very little kid, my dad was a reservations agent originally for Delta Airlines and then became a ramper. And so we would get non-rev privileges and we would be flying. Was it the DC-6 they had? I remember as a little kid getting on those turboprops that Delta was operating. And I think that's where I got my original love for it. But the first time I flew in a small plane, my brother and I on a Saturday morning and some other kids got on our bicycles and drove out. We lived in Memphis. There used to be a grass strip called Wilson Field. And we drove out there and one of the pilots, we'd watch the planes. They had some derelict aircraft also that would mess around in, that were abandoned, and asked us if we wanted to go for a flight. And we jumped in that airplane. I mean, people would be appalled to hear that today. And actually, people that lived back then would be appalled to hear the same thing, that we jumped into an airplane with a total stranger as kids. But we did. And we flew out to Memphis International and did a touch and go and flew back to Wilson Field. So, I just knew I had to be a pilot. I wanted to be a pilot. I always wanted to be a pilot. And but that's really what started it. And then I took my first real flying lesson. My in-laws for Christmas gave me an introductory flying lesson. I didn't think I could pay for flying lessons, but I was hooked after that lesson, and I found a way to do it. And so here I am today. Okay. An Embraer pilot, 195 from Brazil. Glad you're here, super fast. Little Rock's a fun town. Yes, it is. Oh, should I say this story? No, I shouldn't. But I will tell you that when I was flying in Little Rock, I did fly on a part-time basis in the right seat of a King Air 200 that was owned by one of the state operations there, and their pilot was also at the same time a state trooper. He did both of them because they wanted somebody that had the ability, if there was a problem, to arrest somebody. And that's why he was their pilot. And he had flown them a number of times, and he had some very interesting stories. But those are stories I only tell, in private to people I'll never see again. So what do I fly? Well, Black Wolf right now, co-pilot on a Challenger 300, captain on a Citation XL, captain on a Citation or a CJ1, Citation Jet 1, and the Caravan. But I can fly a lot of other stuff. I've got 9 type ratings. Covers a lot of stuff. Cooper Airport, New Jersey. Never flown wide body. Well, thank you. Can turbulence bring an airplane down? It depends. If the turbulence is strong enough, if the aircraft is overloaded, because basically if all the factors line up where the aircraft is overstressed, you can have structural failure. But most of the turbulence that people experience, does not bring airplanes down. That's kind of a rarity. But if you go on the internet and you do a search, there is a picture of a B-52 that experienced severe turbulence, I think flying over the Rockies, that actually lost its vertical stabilizer, was torn off. But the aircraft made it back. But I will tell you the worst turbulence I've ever had was I was flying in the right seat of what?
I was going to say, I thought
Vortex?
Vortex. Yeah.
Jeff just brought up a very good point. Wake vortex, which is a form of turbulence, can bring you down. Absolutely. That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. Especially if that wake vortex, that circling spiral of wind that's coming off the wingtip of the aircraft, is wider than the wingspan of the aircraft that encounters it. It can rotate you with no ability of yours to counteract it till you fly out of it. But the worst turbulence I've ever experienced was clear air turbulence over the Dallas area. The company I was working for had it was a Gulfstream 2B is what it was. Beautiful clear day, wintertime, and there was just the only thing in the area was this little wisp, just a slight little wisp you could see through. And I thought, well, that's really odd. That little wisp of cloud is up here and there's nothing at all. And it's like we just kind of came up on it. And I don't know, without even thinking, I pulled my seatbelt tight. And we were in it. The plane for a moment or two was literally not under control. Disconnected the autopilot. On the radio, tried to immediately report severe turbulence, and it was like slamming me. And you're trying to talk, and you're going like that. And fortunately, everybody on the airplane had their seatbelt secured, and nobody was hurt. We had lots of broken dishes and glasses and stuff like that. Stuff in the galley was broken. It was a big mess. And as soon as I reported it, they put out a PIREP, and then the controller reported to everybody else the PIREP that just came out for extreme turbulence. And it was a beautiful day. And, a guy flying an airliner immediately comes back and says, well, what kind of aircraft was that? And the guy said, well, it was a Gulfstream. And they said something snotty, and the guy came back. I could hear the slams in his voice as he was reporting it. Yeah, I mean, if your turbulence is so hard that it's like pull every time it hits you, that's severe turbulence. If the turbulence is so severe that the aircraft is uncontrollable momentarily, that's how severe turbulence is defined. A Airbus 330 will not experience the same turbulence that a Cessna 152 will, because it has a larger mass and inertia, which is more difficult to displace. But you need to be careful about turbulence. Okay, let's see what we got here. From my first line there, being retired. Where did time go, Rich? Man, you are right about that. How many GoPros do I use in my videos, their action says? 3. I got 3 normally now. The one that every now and then you'll see the side view, that's the one that records the audio. And its main job is to record the audio. And I've got the Ford GoPro looking out, and then I have the one now that I use back here that looks forward to the cockpit. This one back here is my 4, GoPro 4. This one now is my 5, and the one forward is the 6. We're switching the 5 and the 6 back and forth. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a GoPro 8 and start using that one and retire the GoPro 4. Take advantage of that offer they have right now, if it's still out there, where you can trade in a GoPro and get $100 credit towards another one. Excuse me. We're going to be coming up on an hour here, and I'm going to probably need to cut things short, but let me see what else we can talk about. Oops, they're here. I got to go. Bye. They were supposed to give us an update.